learn from this gentleman right now. He's a top distributor. He's a master distributor of a whole company. You know, 7-figure ring earner, right? Our fearless leader who works harder than anyone in the whole company. And he doesn't even have to work anymore. Why does he do that? Because he knows for a fact that guess what? If he works his heart out and he works harder for his people than himself, someone's going to decide to step up and work hard too. This gentleman, he doesn't have to be here tonight. He has kids, but guess what? It doesn't matter. Do you want to know why? Because he cares about his people more than ever before. This gentleman definitely knows all the information. This gentleman definitely knows how to have fun, right? And this gentleman definitely knows how to make money. And without further ado, I want to welcome to the stage Master Distributor, Mr. Timothy Herr!
That Carlo did a phenomenal job. Did you all notice that? Can we give Carlo a round of applause for being a champion? Tonight we're gonna have fun. How many of you tonight are ready to learn about personal development? If you are, say aye. Aye. Well, we're gonna jump into this information then. Tonight I get excited about training on this because if you're taking notes right now, don't make your minimums your maximums. Okay, don't just limit yourself to filling in the blanks on your worksheet. Okay, step up and go above and beyond that and write down also as well some of the different, some of the different information that really captures your attention. Write it down as well on a piece of paper. So I'm going to dive into this information. My mentor taught me something 17 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, when I got introduced to network marketing, he taught me, he says, personal growth and development comes before the fortune. Yeah. Everybody wants to become wealthy. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Isn't it true? Everybody wants to become wealthy, but do you want to go to work on yourself? And the harder that you work on yourself, the more successful you're going to become. So how many of you are ready to really dive into this topic of personal growth and development? Say aye. Aye. Let's dive into it, okay? First thing I want to share with you tonight is simply how the tonight, obviously you guys all know, personal development, we're going to go through this really clearly, okay? So obviously, the first thing is simply this, okay? Jim Rohn says it, I wish I did it, but it's such a phenomenal quote. He says, if you want to become wealthy, learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Okay, and the reason being is because skills makes labor more valuable. So you can chop a tree down, as many of you know, with a spoon, but it takes you probably about a decade. But if you trade that spoon in for a chainsaw, it's going to happen a lot quicker. Would you agree with that? So you want to realize that what's the difference between the chainsaw and the spoon? Skills. Skills makes labor more valuable. If you go out there and you do 10 wow parties, and you do those 10 wow parties and you have skills, what happens is something different than somebody that maybe goes out there that doesn't have a lot of skills, does 10 wow parties, might not get the same result that you have. So you want to perfect your skills. Is everybody clear on this? So the harder you work on yourself, the more things that are going to happen for you that are going to become great. So let's dive into personal growth and development, okay? Obviously, what my mentor taught me when I got involved in this industry, he called it be, do, have. Everybody wants to have more. Would you agree with that? Everybody wants to have more, right? Everybody wants to have a better quality of lifestyle, yes or yes? Everybody wants to have maybe a lifestyle second to none, yes or yes? Right, but the key is before you can have, you got to do more, but before you can do more, you got to be more. So you want to perfect, basically really dive into personal growth and development. And the reason being is because it'll shape your life, okay? So you look at this, okay, you have to ask yourself a question, okay, who am I and what is important to me? And you got to become more. You got to be able to really develop yourself. Number two is do, okay? What are the action steps required? Number three, obviously, the more that you do, the more that you obviously have. Okay, what are the results and are going to be the outcomes? And then it's going to obviously help you become more. So it's be, do, have. Starts with what? Be. Second is what? Do. And then what? Have. Everybody wants to have more, but the key is you've got to do more. But before you can do more, you got to become more. So focus in on developing yourself. Okay? Obviously, it starts off by basically the 6 inches between your left ear and your right ear. You got to have the right attitude. And what happens when you get started in this industry, okay, when you get started in Seacret, what happens is you go through what we call the attitude roller coaster. What you want to do is make sure, number one, you have your seatbelt on if you do decide to get on the attitude roller coaster. Make sure you have your seatbelt buckled because you might fly out of the roller coaster. or elect to not jump on the roller coaster, which is obviously a mature thing to do. So how can you avoid the attitude roller coaster? Here it is number one is don't let your lows get too low, and don't let your highs get too high, okay? So don't get too high, don't get too low, just kind of make it happen no matter what. Number two for your notes, okay? Number two for your notes. Remember, people won't follow people who can't control their emotions. People won't follow people, guess what? That can't control their what? Emotions. So you got to make sure, obviously, you take control of your emotions there. Number three for your notes, have long-term vision. See, once you make that long-term commitment, you have that long-term vision, you don't have time, doesn't matter what happens to you. The ups and downs, that doesn't make a difference. But that's what makes it exciting, that's what makes it interesting. What makes this business so fun are the ups and downs. So we want to make sure that obviously, guess what? That you understand that that's what makes it interesting. It wouldn't be fun if you just got involved in the business, everybody signed up, you became wealthy tomorrow. What's exciting about it is the fact that it's the challenge. The challenge is what makes it so great. I give the prime example of what? Is if right now you grab the football and you ran out to the local football field right down the street here and you ran 100 yards and spiked the ball and started dancing, people would call security on you because there's no one out there trying to tackle you. Does that make sense? There's no need for you to go out there and dance and do something spectacular when you haven't done something great. You've got to focus in on, guess what? Understanding the opposition of what makes it interesting. The opposition makes it what? Interesting. That's what makes it awesome. So just get fascinated, okay? So I have that long-term vision. Number four for your notes, manage your expectations. Number four for your notes, manage your expectations. Make sure you get the blanks filled in so you get credit for the course. Some of you aren't going to get the blanks filled in and you're going to try to get credit afterwards and someone's going to say, what were you doing? Take some serious notes. Manage your expectations, okay? Understand that, guess what? It's going to take 5 years, so whatever happens in that 5-year time frame is what happens in that 5-year time frame, but we're going to do it over the next 5 years. If you don't have guests, you need the meeting, okay? If you don't have guests, you need the meeting. If you have guests, the meeting needs you. Did you catch that one? That's solid, right? That goes right back to what? The 5 M's, right? We talked about last week. More meetings means more money. So here's what it looks like, right? If you don't have guests, you need the meeting. If you have guests, the meeting needs you. You want to make sure you attend the events, okay? You want to make sure you attend the events. Why? Because you're going to stay around the fire. The more that you stay around the fire, it's going to be easier for you to stay warm. Obviously, positive, you want to take sure that when you have positives, they go to your downline, okay? Negatives go to your upline. Do you guys see that? So if you have something positive, talk to your downline. If you have something negative, talk to your upline. Don't take the negatives, never, my mentor called it dumping down. You know what I'm saying? Don't dump down. Don't be negative to your downline. Do you guys get that? Those are the people that look up to you. So you want to make sure that obviously you stay motivated, you stay positive, you stay and you lead by example. Lead by what? Example. You guys got it. So has everybody got a firmer grip on how you can avoid the attitude roller coaster? If you do, say aye. Aye. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's dive into this next one, okay? This is one of the most important ones that I learned. It's called the 4 stages of learning. Okay? When you first get started in anything, you're what we call unconsciously incompetent. You're unconscious, meaning you're unaware, and incompetent, meaning you can't do it. So right when you get started in our business, you're unconsciously incompetent. You're unaware that you can't do it. You don't know that you don't know, okay? Then the next step up from there is called conscious incompetent. That's when you're conscious, you're aware that you're incompetent. That's when you become aware you can't do it, okay? And then what happens next is called conscious competent. That's where you're competent, you're able to do it, but it's conscious. You have to focus on it. You have to focus on it, okay? And then obviously you become unconsciously competent. Meaning unconscious, meaning you're not aware, that you don't have to focus on it. It's on an unconscious level, and competent, meaning you can do it without even thinking about it. So that's the 4th stage of learning. How many of you today, by a show of hands, know how to actually tie your shoes? Just curious. What an amazing amount of people. Have you ever noticed the fact that there was a point in time in your life when you didn't know how to do that? There's a point in time in your life where you didn't even know that your shoes existed. Do you guys see that? You were born and you didn't even know anything. You know, you were biting on your toes. You see what I'm saying? So you were right here. You were right here. You didn't know that you didn't know. See what I'm saying? You didn't know that you didn't know. You know that you couldn't tie your shoes, okay? And then what happens is you're unconsciously incompetent. You're unaware that you don't know how to tie your shoes. You don't even know what your shoes are. And then when you become constantly incompetent, you become aware that you keep tripping over your shoes. Every time your shoelaces are undone, you fall down. And you become aware that every time your shoes are tied, you don't fall down. So it's starting to make sense. So you go to people and say, hey, could you do me a favor and tie my shoe? And they tie your shoe, and you start watching them, and you start noticing that they know something that you don't. So then you're like, I need to focus on how to do that. And you become constantly competent. You become able to do it, but you got to focus on it. Okay? You're doing the bunny ears, the loop-de-loop and pull, right? Your shoes are looking cool. You're doing the whole deal, right? So you're making it happen. but you're focusing on it. Okay? You got to focus on it. And then some of you have got to the point right now where you unconsciously are competent when it comes to tying your shoes. Some of you right now tonight that are in this very room are actually unconsciously competent. You can actually do it without even looking. Can you imagine that? Some of you can tie your shoes without even looking. Showing off is what we call that, okay? Show offs. But everything's like that, okay? But you're going to get good at something. Would you agree or disagree? So over the next 5 years, you're going to get good at something. Some of you are going to get good at, guess what? Watching television. Some of you are going to dominate television, man. You're going to know what's going on. Dancing with the Stars, you know who won, you know everything. American Idol, you know what happened. Some of you are going to master watching television. Some of you are going to be phenomenal at watching the news. Some of you are going to become amazing at playing video games, okay? Some of you are going to become the masters of video games. You're going to have like a level 70 troll in World of Warcraft, just dominating the World of Warcraft. Like the entire world of Warcraft is in all of your achievements. So you're going to realize you're going to get good at something. Some of you are going to get good at drinking, right? Okay? You're going to become the masters of partying. And some of you, guess what you're going to do? You're going to get good at making what? Money. Now, it's up to, guess who? It's up to you. You choose your destiny. Why? Because the decisions you make every day are going to either take you closer to your goals and dreams, or they're going to take you away from your goals and dreams. So in order to have a better tomorrow, you got to focus on what you need to do right when? Now. So what do you need to do right now? What do you need to do today? What do you need to do to make your goals and dreams become a reality tomorrow? In order to have a better tomorrow, you got to focus on taking action in the right direction today, right now. This is the time. So we're going to talk about that, obviously, later on here throughout this overview, throughout this university. Now, these are some of the greats, okay? In order to develop others, you first must develop yourself. Okay, so you look at like people like John C. Maxwell, the Robert Kiyosaki's, the Brian Tracy's, the Zig Ziglars, the Les Browns, Jim Rohns. The question you have to ask yourself is, what's in your car? What are you listening to in your car right now? You got to listen to, I'm telling you right now, when I got involved in this industry, I used to listen to Tupac. Do you guys see that? I used to listen to Tupac. And I realized that that was not making my future better. So I took Tupac out and I put Jim Rohn in. See how smart that was? Some of you today actually that bought a ticket, you actually got a training CD. What you want to do is plug that in your car and don't take it out till you're making 20 grand a month. Yeah. And what will happen is you'll start making 20 grand a month. You're like, this thing ain't moving. Do you see that? Prime example, Christian Rosario drove here today with me, when we came here. And in the car, guess what we were listening to? We were listening to Tim Herr, right? Communication skills. But, and this guy was on fire today, okay? Right, so I'm just telling you guys, you want to listen to something good, okay? How to experience a breakthrough. How many of you are ready to experience a breakthrough? If you are, say I. Aye. Here's where it starts off. It starts off actually with the mirror, okay? You've got to have the right attitude. Now, let me ask you a question. How much potential do you all have? Here's what the answer is: unlimited potential. Every one of you in this room right now, you've got unlimited potential. You've got the potential to do something special. Right now, you have the potential to do something great. But whether you waste that potential or unlock that potential has to do with your attitude. How many of you have the potential, the potential to bring guests to the next event, the regional event? How many of you have the potential to do that? Yeah. Can you? Yeah, of course. Now the key is will you or won't you has to do with your attitude. Let me give an example. You have the potential. How many of you have the potential to listen to Jim Rohn? Do you have the potential to do that? You guys all have the potential to do that, right? My mentor told me 30 minutes a day of personal growth and development no matter what. That's what he told me, okay? So I did it. I didn't question, debate, or discuss. I just did what he told me to do. See how smart that is? Why? Because this guy had a bunch of money. And I didn't have a bunch of money. And I wanted to get a bunch of money. So I listened to the guy with a bunch of what? Money. I call it the stack method. Whoever has the biggest stack of cash, just do what they're doing. See how smart that is? Okay? So if you want to unlock your potential, guess what? If you unlock your potential, that's going to have to do with your attitude. But if your attitude, number one, will unlock your potential, number two. And once you unlock your potential, you start to take the right action. You start to take the right what? Action. And then guess what? You're going to get the results. And those results are then going to strengthen your attitude. But how many of you would agree with me? Everybody wants to get more results. If you do agree, say aye. Aye. Now, here's what you guys got to realize. Everybody agrees, nobody disagrees. We all want to have better results. Now, how do we get better results? We have to look at getting a better attitude. If you're not getting the results you want, you got to look in the mirror. You have to ask yourself, the 6 inches between my left ear and my right ear, what's going on in there? If you focus in on, guess what, yourself, and focus in on developing yourself, you're going to be able to change your destiny. You're going to be able to change your future. You're going to be able to change it all. But you've got to get committed. Okay? And I'm not talking about, well, no, I'm going to give it a shot. Tim, I'm going to give it a good 6 months. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Here's how it happens when you say no matter what, I'm going to get the job done. Over, under, through, I'm going to make it happen, no matter what. You're going to see me becoming a double diamond in this company. You're going to see me dead trying. That's the attitude. Do you guys get that? That's the mindset, by the way, that you want to adopt. So that's how you experience a breakthrough. Now, the best time to experience a breakthrough is right when? Now's the time more than ever before. Okay, so let's take a look at it, okay? Okay, here's what you want to recognize is success is a ladder. Would you agree or disagree? Okay, it's a ladder that you climb. And what happens is you have 5% of the people in America today that are financially independent or wealthy, and 95% of the people are dead or dead broke. Okay, so basically 5% are successful, 95% of the people are not. Now, 95% is where it's crowded. Would you agree with that? Yeah. Okay, so what happens is as soon as you jump on the ladder of success, you say, look, I'm going to become wealthy, there are going to be some people that are not going to be excited about that. There are going to be people that are going to bet against you. People are going to say, you know what, you can't do it. I don't believe that you've got what it takes. I don't believe that you're going to win. Okay? And we call those people SNIOPs or TDSers. What a SNIOP is is the susceptibility of negative influences of other people. Wow. And obviously, a TDSer is a toxic dream stealer. So as soon as you get on this ladder of success, here comes these people right here. These people right here, and guess what they're trying to do? Trying to knock you off the ladder. The question you've got to ask yourself today is simply what? Are you going to allow that to happen, or guess what? Are you going to go to the top? It's up to you. It's a decision that you've got to make. You've got to make a conscious, determined, deliberate effort to recognize the fact that, hey, look, you know what? I just came encounter with a toxic dream stealer. When you run into a toxic dream stealer, what are you going to do? You understand what I'm showing you? Are you going to sit there and say, hey, maybe they're right? Or are you going to say, guess what? I'm going to become wealthy, and let it motivate you? Because what happens is you're going to have people that are going to question your commitment. You're going to have people that are going to question your commitment. They're going to question your faith. They're going to question your belief. Can you really do it? And you got to say, look, you know what? I am. No matter what. And you got to back that belief up with all-out massive what? Action. You got it, okay? So let's make it happen and move forward. Personal development, here's how typically it works in traditional network marketing. Is somebody that gets involved in the business, maybe that was at the beginning, that understands what's going on, they start it and they share 100% of the information with this individual, okay? And then this individual passes on 50% because they weren't paying attention, they weren't taking notes, okay? And then this person passes on the information to this individual with 25%, and now this person is getting 12%. Do you guys remember the telephone game? Yeah. Remember when we were little kids, we used to play the what? No. Telephone game, right? You tell somebody a secret, tell somebody, and then by the time it gets to the back, it's completely different. Yeah. Right? You know, the whisper down the lane, and it just changes. Okay? So what happens, guess what, in network marketing is that's how it works typically. Typically what happens is the people that get involved at the beginning, the reason why they do so well is because they know what they're doing. People go, oh man, and that's one of those things, people at the top make all the money. The reason why the people at the top make a lot of money is because they build a big organization. But they don't start with a big organization, they build a big organization. Who can build a big organization? The answer is anyone. Okay? Anybody can do it. Now the key is you got to get the right information. And that's the challenge. Most of the time, that information gets watered down or diluted or polluted as that message gets delivered. We've actually perfected it at Seacret. First time ever in the entire industry. We've basically what we've done is the first time ever. We have a system for developing people that's unmatched. Unmatched in the industry. And it's called, basically what it's called the Seacret University system. Where you actually get 100% of the information, and now you build a system-dependent business, not a people-dependent business. So you build your business based upon a system standing for save yourself time, energy, and money. You've got to focus in on, guess what, building a system-dependent business. Not going out there trying to Superman everything. Is you go out there, you Superman it by going all out massive action, but you bring everybody to the system. That's why every time when I sign someone up or enroll somebody, I put the Seacret University card in their hands every time. You're never going to see me talk to somebody and not put a Seacret University and a regional training ticket in their hands. I would never do that. Why? Because I'm not interested in signing people up. I'm interested in developing people. Yes. I'm interested in developing leaders. I'm interested in teaching people how to make this happen. What are you interested in? Some of you right now, you're just out there trying to sell, basically what I call sell hamburgers. And then other ones of you are out there trying to develop McDonald's. What's the difference? Are you trying to develop McDonald's or are you trying to sell hamburgers? You understand the difference? McDonald's is in the real estate business. Ray Kroc was in the real estate business. He owned more real estate than anybody else in the world. Do you see that? How did he do that? He did that by opening up McDonald's on every street corner. So if you run away from one, you get closer to the next. They're everywhere. Would you agree with that? Yeah. So guess what we have to recognize? Are we out there trying to peddle hamburgers? Are you trying to develop people, right, that are going to be self-sufficient leaders that can go out there and do this business without you? Yeah. That's the magic. The key is to develop people that can do this business without you. That you can teach, train, and duplicate. People ask me all the time, they say, Tim, is this a sprint or marathon? It's neither. It's a relay race. In a relay race, the fortunes are made in the exchange zone. Do you guys get that? The fortunes in our industry is made in the exchange zone. The exchange zone in a relay race is that point when you're running and you have the baton and you're passing it off to the next person. That's where the fortunes are made in our industry. If you can learn how to, guess what, pass the baton off to other people, you're going to earn a fortune. But first, you've got to develop yourself so you can teach other people. You don't want to duplicate something you don't want to take a Xerox copy of something that doesn't make any sense. So you understand? You've got to focus in on developing your skills, developing your mindset, but more importantly, leading by example and taking all out massive what? Action. You guys are starting to get this, okay? I can tell by now. So obviously, you guys have a firmer grip on understanding the fact that we've got to develop ourselves by plugging into Seacret University right when? Now. Right now. Now is the time. I want you to understand that. Now is the time more than ever before. So let's take a look at what we need to focus on. Okay, it starts off more than anything else, okay, about turning your dreams into reality. How do you turn your dreams into reality? First, it starts off with a dream. Starts off with a dream. How many of you today can dream of a better tomorrow? Seriously. Right? How many of you can dream? I'm talking about visualize something better than what you have now. And you can go out there and dream and get excited about that. How many of you can do that? Okay, good. Here's what happens is your dream, when you attach it to a deadline, then it becomes a goal. Okay? That's the magic. A dream plus a deadline equals a what? Goal. A goal. But see, the goal is where a lot of people are good at setting goals. Tonight, I'm going to take you through what my mentor taught me that changed my life. Tonight, you're going to be able to go through a goal-setting workshop. And I'm telling you right now, the perfect timing for this goal-setting workshop is right now. Beginning of a brand new year is kind of like a beginning of a brand new semester in school. Right? When you go to a brand new semester of school, what do? Everything's going to be better. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah. You're going to do everything right. But you got to stay committed to that. Okay? Here's how it works. Dream plus a deadline equals a what? Goal. Now, a goal plus a plan, your daily method of operation, your plan, that's how it becomes a reality. Wow. Okay? And I can teach you, when you become a star builder, I'll start working with you hands-on. And once you become a star builder, I'll start working with you directly. Okay? We'll start meeting every week at my house, and I'll start developing you directly. I'll start teaching you how to come up with a perfect plan. Okay, but the key is guess what? You first got to get to star builder. How do you get to star builder? Get excited and take all out massive action right when? Now. You focus in on blueprints and wow parties, and it's going to happen for you quickly, okay? So how do we turn a dream into reality? Dream plus a deadline equals a goal. Goal plus plan equals reality. Is everybody clear on this? If you are, say aye. Aye. You guys got it, okay? So let's talk about goals, okay? The best way to take a look at a goal is something called a SMART goal, okay? And the SMART is an acronym. And the S stands for specific. You know what you want to accomplish, okay? Vague goals equate to vague results. Goals must be fully furnished with detailed descriptions of what, when, and how. It's the details. The drama's in the details, man. You've got to have a detailed picture. You've got to be able to visualize exactly what you want. Not, I want to have a new car. Okay, what does that car look like? What does it smell like? Do you guys get that? Someone's like, I want to go on a vacation. What does that vacation look like? What does it feel like, man? What does it smell like? You've got to go there and get specific and be able to see it. You got to have that specific, okay? Now here, give an example. A vague goal, I want to get rich. Very vague. Smart goal, being specific. I want to make $20,000 a month for the next 12 months. Okay? Or excuse me, I want to make $20,000 a month in the next 12-month period of time, okay? I'll commit myself to 5, wow parties a day and getting out there and introducing this opportunity to people. So you focus in on taking action right when? Now. Okay, now here's an example of what I'm talking about, okay? M stands for measurable. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable. You've got to have a measurable goal. You can, assess your progress, okay? Goals which cannot be measured cannot be managed. Your goal is measurable if anyone can tell you at the end of the deadline whether or not you've completed your goal. You have to be able to measure it. Give an example. A vague goal, I want to be successful. How do you measure that? You can't measure that. You understand? Compared to what, okay? SMART goal, right? Something that's measurable. I want to have a savings account with at least $500,000 savings account next 5 years date. That's measurable, yes or yes? Okay, so obviously we understand that now. A is obviously attainable, okay? Your goals must be within reach in your present situation. And I'm explaining. The high goals that stretch you are okay, but high and realistic goals are better, okay? So meaning this, okay? An unattainable goal cannot motivate you. Easy goals, on the other hand, are not challenging enough. Thus, they do not contribute to your growth. Let me give an example. Vague goal. I want to become a millionaire in 3 months. See, that's not attainable. You understand? Now, somebody goes, well, I think it is. Okay, explain. Okay, it's going to take you time. You see that? But if you say, look, I want to become a millionaire in the next 3 years by becoming successful in Seacret and attending Seacret University conference calls, seminars, and workshops. See, now that makes sense. 3-year time frame. You're going to go towards that goal. You can't say, look, tomorrow I want to wake up and be a millionaire. You understand? It's not attainable. It takes time. Do you guys understand that? You can't, let's give an example. Let's say that, you're 50 pounds overweight. You can't say tomorrow I want to wake up and be 50 pounds less. It doesn't work like that. It takes time. Okay? And you have to break it down. You have to have a plan. And I'll show you how to do that later. But you want to set those big goals. Being a millionaire, not a big goal. Not at all. But being a millionaire tomorrow is a little bit of a stretch. So have attainable goals. Okay? Give yourself time. Now, next thing that you want to take a look at is what? Okay? Is our relevant goals. Goals need to be in parallel with your purpose in life. Relevant goals are a sure way to direct your efforts towards attaining something that you're concentrated to who you are as a person, okay? Here, give an example. Goals are simply instruments to accomplish one's mission or purpose in life. Vague goal, within a year, I want to become a leader and have a large sum of money at my disposal. Very vague, right? But if you say, look, you know what, by the end of the year, I want to become a top money earner in Seacret, who will be focusing on developing other leaders who will also be helping them make their dreams become a reality. That's, guess what? Relevant. Okay, you got to make sure your goals are relevant to what you're doing, okay? Obviously, that's very simple. Then obviously T is time sensitive. Goals need to have deadlines. Everybody help me out and say deadline. Okay, you got to have deadlines, all right? Deadlines are good. They motivate you, okay? A goal free from time elements is susceptible to procrastination. Vague goal, I want to do 3-way calls and one-on-ones. Okay, that's very vague, okay? But if you say, look, you know what, I'll start to do 10 3-way calls by 3 p.m. today and finish by 6 p.m. tonight. That's, you understand? Now you're talking about time-sensitive goals. Now you're directing it towards action, taking action. If you're like, look, you know what, I'm going to get 5 guests. I'm going to get 5 guests. No matter what, I will have 5 guests at the regional event. Very good idea, by the way. Very good idea. Just by thinking that, that's amazing. Some of you today, during this event, you're going to think about 5 people's names are going to pop up of guests you need to get down there. Take action upon that. Get those guests to the regional event. Write those people's names down throughout this event, okay? Because it's time to take action right when? Now, all right? So here, let's take a look at this. We're going to have fun. Everybody that's ready to have fun, if you are, say aye. Aye. Here's what I need from you. I need you to step up, okay? I need you to step up. You got to step up to the plate. You can't just sit there. You've got to think. This is not going to be easy. You got to challenge yourself right now to go through this next exercise. Is everybody ready to challenge themselves? If you are, say aye. Aye. Let's take a look at this, okay? Promise of the future is an awesome force. This is for your notes. Promise of the future is an awesome force. Reasons make the difference on how your life works out, okay? Reasons make a difference on how your life works out. So guess what that means? Promise of the future is an awesome force. You got to get excited about your future. Okay, you got to get excited about the direction your life is headed in. Get fired up about that. You got to get excited about, being able to have things in life that you want. But the promise of the future is the most powerful force. It's going to drive you to do what's required to become the person that you need so you can attract all that you want. Reasons make the difference on how your life works out. If you can come up with enough reasons, you can revolutionize your life. But like Jim Rohn says, if you're short on reasons, you're going to be short on answers. You got to have reasons. You got to have reasons, all right? Number 3, for your notes. I love this one, okay? Number 3 is make sure the strongest pull on you is the pull of the future. Make sure the strongest pull on you is the pull of the what? Future. Not the past. Most people have the past beat them up. The past is a school, right? You can learn from it. Okay, but guess what? Don't let the past beat you up. You understand? You got to have a healthy relationship with your past. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yesterday into last night. Don't let yesterday's clouds ruin today's sunshine. Get fired up about your future because your future's not what it used to be. So make sure that you're fired up. It's kind of like when you're driving in a car, you want to be looking through the rearview mirror a little bit, but not that often. You want to be focusing 99.9% of your time looking through the front, looking through the future. Get fired up about your future. Get excited about your unfolding future because your future's not what it used to be. Number 4, dreams and goals can become magnets. The stronger the goal, the stronger the pull is on your life. You've got to have strong goals. Strong goals. Why? Because it's going to drive you. It's going to motivate you. Your goals will become your bridge over troubled waters. Okay, I'm telling you right now, goal setting is the most important thing you can have in your life. I'm telling you straight right now. This is what's up. This is what's up, okay? And I'll tell you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this is how you do it. You've got to have goals, okay? Your goals are the most important thing that you're going to have in your life. Why? Because it's going to focus your time and it's going to focus your energy on accomplishing a mission. Understand that you've got greatness within you. You've got, every single one of you have got seeds of greatness within you. Wow. Everybody in this room. You got to recognize that, man. You got to get excited about what you've accomplished. And before you can go to work on the future, you got to give yourself credit for the past. So let's look at this, okay? Here it is, number 1. Give yourself credit for the past before we go to work on the future. Now this, I'm going to need you to participate, okay? I'm going to need you to participate. What 5 things, for your notes, what 5 things have you already accomplished that you're proud of? What 5 things have you already accomplished that you're proud of? What you want to do right now is focus in and write those 5 things down. Write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as soon as you have those 5 things, just stand up. Wow. This is awesome. This is the fun part, designing the next 10 years of your life. This has nothing to do with Seacret. This has to do with you, okay? Write down, designing the next 10 years of your life. Don't think about what you think you can achieve, but think about what you want if everything came together for you. What you want in the next 10 years. Think about in the next 10 years, what would you like to do? What would you like to see? What would you like to have? Just start writing down a list and sky's the limit. Think about it. Everything comes together for you, man. All the stars align. Boom, everything's perfect. Start writing down everything you can think of. Okay? Places that you want to travel. Okay? Where's the places you want to travel? Maybe you want to go to the Great Wall of China. Just go ahead and write that down. Okay? Maybe you want to go to Tahiti. You can write that down. Maybe you want to go scuba diving in Hanama Bay. You can write that down, right? What do you want to do? Okay, maybe you want to go to Africa or Egypt and you want to ride camels in between the pyramids, right? Right? Maybe you want to scuba dive in Aruba. Write it down. What do you want to do? Where are places you'd like to travel? This is your list. Maybe you want to go to the moon. You can write that down. I want to go to the moon. Maybe you want to go snowboarding in Aspen. You can write that down. What do you want? This is stuff, I'm telling you right now, this is, right now you're setting yourself apart from everyone else in the world. So few people have goals. I set goals with my wife. I set goals with my kids. I set goals. You have to have direction. You just see people without direction. I just think to myself, what do you, like, you just cross your fingers hoping something good happens? You don't mistakenly become good. Nothing good happens by mistake. You see what I'm saying? Oh my God, this is an awesome mistake. Things become better by design. So designing the next 10 years of your life. Where would you like to travel? Think about different places you'd like to travel. Maybe you want to go to a Super Bowl. Okay? Maybe you want to buy an NFL team. Maybe you want to buy an NBA franchise. Okay? What are some things for other people you'd like to do? Start thinking of benevolence goals, right? Maybe you want to retire your wife. Maybe you want to retire your husband. Maybe you want to retire your mom. Maybe you want to retire your dad. Maybe you want to put your little brother through college. Maybe you want to put your kids through college. You want to set up a college fund for your kids. Maybe you want to send a loved one on a shopping spree. Think about right now designing the next 10 years of your life, okay? Don't think about what you think you can achieve, okay? Think about what you want if everything came together for you. What do you want in the next 10 years? the next 10 years. Fitness goals. Maybe you want to work on your fitness goals. What are some fitness goals you'd like to have? Yeah, once you have your list of 50, just go ahead and stand up. Maybe there's watches that you want to get. Maybe you want to get some new shoes, right? Maybe you want to get some clothes, right? Maybe you want to get some new clothes. And some of you, well, you know what? I don't need much. The bad news is then you don't need to become much. That's the bad news. If you don't need much, you don't need to become much. This is your life. It's not a scrimmage. This isn't a dress rehearsal. Why not have it all? Why not do it all? Why not see it all? Just to see, you know? Maybe you want to buy some boats. Maybe you want to have a yacht. Maybe you want to have a Sea-Doo or maybe a ski boat. What kind of boats would you like? Maybe you want to have a plane. Maybe you want to have your own private jet or your own private helicopter. Maybe both. Maybe you want to think about places you want to buy real estate. Where would you like, write down 5 or 10 places you'd like to buy a house. Maybe you want to have a house in Miami, a house in Colorado, a house in Montana, a house in, Hawaii. Maybe one in Maui and Oahu, and have a helicopter pad on both, and you just take your helicopter from Maui to Oahu. It's up to you. Maybe you want to get a house in Winnipeg, right? With a big heater. A giant heater. Think about what would you like to have in the next 10 years, okay? Think about places you'd like to live. Maybe you want to get a little place in Catalina. Little place in Catalina in a little golf cart over there. So you can drive a little golf cart around Catalina, okay? Think about cars you'd like to get. If you had to buy 10 cars, what cars would you buy? What cars would you buy? It's your list. Just write down whatever you want. Maybe you want to get a Ferrari. Maybe you want to get a Lamborghini. Maybe you want to get a Mercedes. Maybe you want to get it's a very smart car. Maybe you want to get an electrical car. What projects would you like to support? Just go ahead and write down projects you'd like to support. Maybe you want to help kids that are starving in a certain country, or maybe you want to help out kids that are less fortunate. Maybe you want to set up a home for battered women or abused men or people that are into drug addiction, right? Maybe you want to set up a program to help people develop skills of some sort. What type of projects would you like to support over the next 10 years? Helping out maybe people that are homeless, maybe people that are starving, What would you like to, write down a list of 50. Maybe there's positions within Seacret that you haven't achieved yet. Maybe you want to become a superstar. Just write that down. Maybe you want to become a superstar. Maybe you haven't achieved superstar. Maybe you haven't accomplished Mission Royale. Maybe you want to become a Royale agent. Just go ahead and write that down. Maybe you want to become a bronze agent. Write that down. Maybe you want to become a silver agent. Go ahead and write that down. Maybe you want to become a crown diamond. Write that down. Double diamond. Okay, how much money would you like to make earn a month? Maybe you want to make $20,000 a month. Maybe you want to make $10,000 a month. Maybe you want to make 20 and 10 for a total of 30. Maybe you want to help open up some countries for Seacret. Maybe you want to take Seacret around the world. Maybe you want to learn another language. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to play basketball one-on-one against Michael Jordan. What would you like to do? What would you like to have? What would you like to see? What would you like to be? Just start writing down anything. It's your list. But once you have your list of 50, just go ahead and stand up. Right now, on step number 4, what you want to do is this. What are the 4 most important one-year goals? I call these the no matter what. Okay, these are the no matter what. These are the 4 most important one-year goals to me. Okay, what are the 4 most important one-year goals? Just go ahead and write down what are the 4 most important one-year goals. Okay, I'm talking the ones that will really do it for you. Really do it for you. Like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Write down, ladies and gentlemen, the 4 most important one-year goals. Just take those 4 out of that list of 50 and just write them down right there under section number 4. And once you have that done, just go ahead and stand up. Oh my gosh, you guys are on fire right now. The fire department's already been notified. I believe the fire marshal will be here at any moment because you guys are on fire. What a great group. Unreal how hard you are working. I really admire that. Appreciate it, in fact. You know, you guys are working just as hard as I am. By the time you get out of here, you're going to be exhausted, man. You're going to be like, oh my God. Woo, I worked hard today. You guys are working hard, and I really respect that. I really respect how hard you are working. What a great group. What a great group. Wow. I never seen anything like this. This is overwhelming. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is over the top. Never in my life have I seen something like this, okay? We're going to keep moving forward. I know some of you are catching up. That's okay. You're probably going to end up passing everybody up and being the first one done. Purpose is stronger than object. Oh my God, this is good. Step number 5, purpose is stronger than object. Always keep in mind when the why gets strong, the how gets easy. Why are these 4 goals important to you? Why are these 4 one-year goals so important to you? Okay? So maybe you want to buy a brand new house. Why? And you might look like this. I want to buy a brand new house because it'll be a place of gathering for the holidays where all my family can come together. Perfect. Bam. You know, maybe you want to retire your wife, or you want to retire your mother. I want to retire my mom because I know that it'll add years to her life. That's a why. Okay? Maybe you want to take a vacation. Why? Maybe you want to become a silver executive. Why? How it's going to feel, right, to accomplish it. To know that I set out a goal and I did it. Because it's going to strengthen my relationship with myself. So purpose is stronger than object. Now, number 6, what you become in pursuit of what you want is the most valuable part of achievement. By far. Step number 6, what you become in pursuit of what you want is the most valuable part of achievement. Set goals on what you want to become. What you achieve will help you to become, and what you become will help you to achieve. So write a descriptive paragraph describing what type of person must I become to attract all that I want. This is the most important reason why we do the entire workshop anyways. What type of skills? Maybe you're like, look, you know what? In order for me to achieve all that I want over the next 10 years, you know, I've got to become a person of action. I've got to become more disciplined. I've got to have a little bit more thicker skin and not let negative people affect me. I've got to be the type of person that has follow through. I've got to, improve my follow through. I've got to, I've got to figure out how to take all out massive action. I got to stop being afraid. Maybe I've got to stop being afraid of what other people think of me. Maybe I got to get a backbone. Maybe I got to start believing in me. What type of person must you become to achieve all that you want? This is the most important part. This is the reason why you do the goal setting workshop. Maybe you need to work on your daily method of operation. Maybe, hey, look, you know what? I got to work on my daily method of operation. I got to work on learning my time. I got to focus on time management skills. I've got to maybe develop more of a make it happen no matter what attitude, WIT, whatever it takes mindset. I got to go out there and force the results. I got to step up and maybe start presenting more. I got to start doing more wow parties. Maybe I've got to go out there and start doing a better job on launching brand new agents with the blueprint. Maybe I need to focus in on personal growth and development. Maybe I've got to focus in a little bit more and maybe take some CDs out of my car and put some good stuff in. Because you can't, your mind's like an ATM machine, man. You can't take anything good out if you don't put anything good in. You got to focus in on developing yourselves. What type of skills must you develop? Maybe in order for you to achieve all that you want, you got to learn how to effectively communicate. Maybe you want to work on your closing skills or your opening skills, or you want to learn how to network better. Learning how to, and develop other leaders. Maybe, duplication is something you need to work on. What are the things that you need to become to achieve all that you want? Maybe you need to learn how to become a little bit more consistent. Maybe a little bit more persistent. Maybe you need to raise your level of commitment or your dedication. Maybe you need to work on your integrity. Having a clear correspondence between your words and your deeds. What type of person must you become to achieve all that you want? Because what you become will help you to achieve, and what you achieve will help you to become. Maybe you need to work on your character. Being honest with yourself. Telling yourself what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So just go and write that descriptive paragraph for step number 6. And once you have that done, just go ahead and stand up. This is the most important part, by the way. Wow. What a great group. You guys are working hard. What a great group. What a great group. Oh my God. We are going to break records, man. I'm so glad that this is happening right now. Perfect timing, by the way, us doing this right now with the brand new announcement of the Royale position, brand new beginning of the year, right before a regional event. You guys are doing awesome. Just keep on working. This is the most important part. And once you get it done, just go and stand up. You guys are doing great. I appreciate that. What you become will help you to achieve, and what you achieve will help you to become. This is the most valuable part of setting goals, is the development process. Is developing you. This is the reason why you go for goals, is so you can develop skills and you can transform into being that type of person. So wonderful. One more time, give yourselves a round of applause. All right, you guys. We're going to move forward now. Keep on working on this. If you're working on this right now, just catch right up to us. Okay, we're going to when we get done, before we give you credit for the class, you can do this. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something called the rocking chair test. High achievers have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, the rocking chair test. High achievers have the ability to reach into the future for inspiration. High achievers have the ability to reach into the future for inspiration. Watch how this works, okay? Watch how this works. The rocking chair test. Number 1 is I need everybody to put your head down and close your eyes. Everybody, even the cool people. Put your head down, even the cool people. Kind of just close your eyes. Everybody, even the cool people. There's 2 people with their eyes open right now. I can see you. I'll close my eyes and you become a champion. Okay, boom, now you're a champion, okay? So number 1 is close your eyes. We already did that. Number 2 is visualize yourself many years from now, okay? And you're in a rocking chair. And you're looking back on your life, okay? And imagine as you look back on your life, imagine you accomplished all your goals. I mean, you did it all. You're looking back on your life and you're like, man, I really did it all. I lived my life to the fullest. I was able to do all that I set out to do. And imagine how you feel. How do you feel now that you can look back on your life and say, man, I did it all. I went for it all and I did it. What an amazing feeling. Now, I want you to come back to reality. Now, I want you to, everybody keep your heads down. Now we're going to go back to that rocking chair again. Go back to that rocking chair again. Now I want you to look at your life, and I want you to imagine that you didn't accomplish your goals. You didn't go for it. You were too afraid. You look back and you're disgusted with yourself. You say, you know what? I didn't go for it. I didn't step up, man. I didn't give it my all. And now you've got this regret in your life. Imagine how you feel looking back on your life saying, man, you know what? I wasted it all. I didn't go for it. I didn't do it. Imagine how that feels. Now give yourselves a round of applause. Now you have to ask yourself a question. This is the reason why I do what I do. People always say, oh my God, Tim's work ethic is second to none. No, it's not. I just have something called awareness. I have the awareness to recognize that someday I'm going to be looking back on my life and I'm going to experience one of those two emotions. I'm going to look back on my life knowing that I did it all. I lived my life to the fullest. I gave it everything that I got, man. I'll be able to say that I left it all on the field. I didn't take anything with me. I know that I'm going to be able to say that because I'm giving my life my all. Not just my business life, but my family life, every area of my life. I don't want any area of my life to say, man, you know what, he kicked ass and made a lot of money, but damn, you know what, he lost his family in the process. I'm telling you guys, everything that you do, you give it your all. Everything, man. This is your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. This isn't a scrimmage. This is it. We got to go for it now. We have time. We have a chance. We have a day right now called today, and we got to give today all that we got. This is our chance to do something great. You guys did an amazing job, okay? Here it is, you guys, and this is the last part. As soon as you accomplish a goal, always replace it with a new goal to achieve. Most important thing, okay? Right when you accomplish a goal, you have to replace it with another goal. Always have something that you're striving for. Always have something you're reaching for, because you have seeds of greatness within you. Okay? You're designed for greatness. You're not designed to sit there idle. You're just designed to go for it, man. So how much should you earn? The answer is obvious. Earn as much as you can. How much should you accomplish? The answer is obvious. Accomplish all that you can. How much should you do? The answer is obvious. Do all that you can do. The time to step up is right when? Now. We got to step up right now. Now, how many of you have a better picture on why setting goals is important? If you do, say aye. Aye. We got to step up. This was me in 1996. So what I looked like when I sat in your seats. When I got involved in the industry, that's what I looked like. And I'm telling you what, no one said, man, that guy right there, the guy that I'm not sure if I don't know if he's sober or not. I'm not sure, but I think that guy's got some of those qualities that we're looking for. No one picked me but me. So you got to pick you. You got to know that you can do it. You have to know that you can make it happen. You have to raise your belief system to a point where nothing can stop you. Nothing can get in your way. Over, under, or through that you're going to win. The time to do it is now. Time to step up is now. Time to make it happen is right when? Now. You guys are fired up. You guys understand why it's important to set goals? If you do, say aye. You guys are on fire right now, okay? Here's what we got to do. We got to step up right when? Now's the time to go all out, man. Now's the time to get committed. Now's the time to say, you know what? This is it. This is my time to do something special. This is my time to do something great. I'm going to step up. I'm going all out. I'm going to make it happen. This is it. This is my time. This is my chance. I'm going to win big. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Get your cards punched on the way out. Let's get rich, everybody.